Hi. You probably
Hey.
hear this like 1,000 times a day, but and I apologize, but I'm a huge fan, so kind of psyched for this. Seen almost every Blumhouse movie and saw an Insidious, of my favorite franchises. So this is
All
kind of a
right. Well, we love talking to you.
You're our favorite reporter of all time.
Exactly.
So first of all, congratulations. I absolutely love this movie. I'm a huge horror fan, so I like the way the psychological thriller was given the horror movie treatment. The movie begins with Cecilia's escape instead of showing us the abusive relationship, that part of it. And I really like not seeing that, like that, a treatment of that. So can you talk about, was that always part of your script?
Well, no, you never saw his treatment of her in any draft. The script changes, of course, as you go through drafts, there's little tweaks and changes, but I just thought it was more powerful to open the movie from Cecilia's perspective and not have to write that whole relationship, because you find out what their relationship was like later, just through his actions.
Yeah, I heard that the test screenings did want more of that relationship, but Jason was among some of the people who encouraged you to be more cryptic.
Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing about Blumhouse. A lot of the times they're the ones encouraging me to be more cryptic and less obvious. There is a myth out there that it's the studio or the executives that are trying to dumb down these movies. And my personal experience is that, especially with Blumhouse, is that they lift the movies. They make you think about things you didn't see. You see, when you make a film, you're so close to it, you can't see the forest for the trees anymore. And then these fresh sets of eyes come in and they have more of a Google Map view of the movie, and it's really helpful, so that was definitely the case. Yeah.
So is that what encouraged you to flip the script and this time focus on the victim?
That was sort of an idea I had pretty early on, but I to me it just seemed obvious. I don't think it was like some stroke of genius or light bulb moment. I think it was just like, well, the scariest version of this movie is the one told from the point of view of the victim. I mean, if you think about Halloween, can you imagine a version of Halloween told from the point of view of Michael Myers? Like, he's behind the hedge. He's like, I hate these masks. They're so itchy. Oh, here she comes. Here she comes. I'm just going to lean out. She looks pretty scared. Like, it wouldn't be scary at all. It would be, I guess it would be a character study of a serial killer. Not that you can't make a good movie out of that, Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer or whatever, but the reason Halloween is scary is because he's this unknowable entity that lurks in the background, and you are invested in Jamie Lee Curtis's character. So it seemed obvious to me to tell an Invisible Man story from the point of view of the person that he is stalking, that he is using his. You are thinking along with the character. You are thinking, is he in the room with us right now? So yeah.
It definitely built all that suspense that I kind of enjoyed about watching this film. Jason, you've worked with Leigh for so many years, I think over 10 years now, and as well as so many other horror filmmakers. So what is it that Leigh brings to the table, especially in this film?
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, I bet you are. Leigh is really, I think I may have done more movies with Leigh than anybody else. We've got a lot of people we're partners with, who we've done multiple movies, but I think Leigh, we've done the most. We're personal friends. We have a great personal relationship. We have a great business relationship. We're not scared about hurting each other's feelings. And it's extraordinarily fun and rewarding to work with him. And one of the things I think I've learned in our business is when you find someone who you like working with, I will stretch to all lengths to continue to work with them, because they're not, it's hard to do. And Leigh's just been an amazing partner to us for like you said, I think over 10 years. And hopefully there'll be another 10 to come.
2009 is when I first walked into your office.
So that's 11 years.
Yeah.
Lee, Jason once said that as well, that you're one of the best people to come up or craft a scare scene. So I have to ask, how do you come up with these different techniques to scare the modern audience, given that everyone's so desensitized?
It's more difficult than it looks. I know Jason will agree with me on this because both he and I are very defensive about the horror genre. There can be a bit of snobbery about the horror genre in the film industry, and it drives us crazy. I know it drives a lot of horror fans crazy, but it's not as easy as it looks. It's actually, I think, when you see a horror film that's not made well, a lot of the times people are treating it a bit cheaply. I think I just try to put a lot of thought into it. There's no secret. It's really just thinking and pushing yourself and being like, okay, have I seen that? How could I do it differently? A lot of trial and error, input from Blumhouse, and then you just hope for the best, So there's no formula for it. It's like a good scare is like a good joke. It's like voodoo. It's magic. It's like, why is this person funny and this guy and this person is not? I don't know.
Yeah.
So you just try. You do your best, and you treat the genre with respect. Don't treat it as some cheap thing where we'll put a violin sting in there and they'll jump and that's it. If you treat it with respect, then you're already on the right path.
Yeah. And lastly, to wrap up, as a horror fan, I always ask this to filmmakers: is what is the secret or the key ingredient to making a great scary movie?
The key ingredient, surprisingly, isn't the scares. It's the story and the drama. And if the audience is kind of on the edge of their seat with the storytelling and the acting and the characters, the scares will be scary. And if they're not, even a Leigh Whannell scare will not scare you. So really the key is, and what's so unique about Leigh is that he can do both. He can choreograph a beautiful scare, but the reason those scares work is because he's a great storyteller.
What about you, Lee?
Well, thank you, Jason. I agree with Jason. I think that, to me, there's kind of only two genres: good movies and bad movies. Like if I'm watching a romantic comedy, I'm fine with that. I just want it to be a great romantic comedy. Have it be When Harry Met Sally or something. And so I try to look at horror like that. Like, we're going to do it. Let's try and be one of the greats. And if you look at The Exorcist, the characters and the drama is just as great as any Oscar-winning drama film that's been released. It just so happens to be a horror film, and so I agree with Jason that we just need to try to make a great movie, not a great horror movie.
Well, I absolutely love the movie, and I definitely want to see more under the Blumhouse and Leigh Whannell films. But thank you so much for the chat.
So do I.
Yeah,
Like a sequel, I'd like to see.
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking. I'll think about it.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Wishing you all the best.
Bye-bye.
Yes, thank you very much.